Musical trends are constantly changing from big bands to Motown, rock and roll, or blues to rap. The evolution continues, and sometimes certain bands usher in a whole new genre of music altogether. This was the case for Guns N' Roses, the band that basically single-handedly put a coffin nail in the genre known as the hair metal of the 80s. Suddenly, though, a band out of Seattle called Nirvana would challenge their sound as they brought with them the surge of the grunge and alternative music that would dominate the early 1990s. When you have huge egos, tons of money, success, and fame, there are going to be rivalries in the industry, and there was a good one between Guns N' Roses and Nirvana. The early lineup of Guns N' Roses, or GNR, formed in 1984 and added lead singer Axl Rose and Slash, who would be the driving force and main musicians involved by 1985. Their debut album, Appetite for Destruction, was released on July 21, 1987, and would eventually reach number 1 on the Billboard charts with top 10 singles like Paradise City, Sweet Child of Mine, and Welcome to the Jungle. They followed up with the massively successful albums Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, released in 1991. Nirvana was formed in 1987 out of Aberdeen, Washington, with lead singer and guitarist Kurt Cobain and bass player Chris Novoselic, with a few different drummers before getting to Dave Grohl around 1990. They made a debut album called Bleach in 1989 and followed up with the gigantic hit album Nevermind, one of the best-selling albums of the decade. Now, Nirvana didn't just have a different sound. Kurt Cobain had huge and fundamental issues with who Guns N' Roses were as a band and who Axl Rose was as a person. Cobain was a devout believer in feminism and equality, and GNR's lyrics were, at times, sexist and misogynistic. In 1991, Axl was a Nirvana fan, and you can see him wearing a hat with their name on it in the music video Don't Cry. While Cobain was promoting their album, he made sure GNR knew he was not a fan, and is quoted as saying, "We're not your typical Guns N' Roses type band that has absolutely nothing to say. And rebellion is standing up to people like Guns N' Roses." Fast forward a year later, GNR wanted Nirvana to open for them during a tour with Metallica. Cobain told them no, and things really deteriorated between them. All the negative comments from Kurt got back to Axl, and in 1992, Rose got up on stage and told the entire audience, and basically the whole world, that Kurt Cobain and his wife Courtney Love were nothing more than junkies. You can still hear audio of Rose's words online today. Later in the year at the MTV Video Awards, Courtney Love walked over to Axl and joked that she would make him godfather to her baby, Frances Bean. Rose told Cobain to get his wife in line, and later in the evening, both bands were on the verge of a fight. Cobain went over and spit on a piano that he thought Rose would be playing, but it turned out to be Elton John's. Then the band members of GNR went to tip over Nirvana's trailer, but it turned out the only ones inside were Courtney Love, her new baby, and their nanny. The bands had bad blood for years, and it was only after Kurt Cobain's death on April 5th of 1994 they were able to make peace. Since then, the members of each band have apologized for their actions, with Dave Grohl even loaning Axl Rose his custom-made stage props to help him perform in 2016.